We have won a victory they have won a victory that seems overwhelming, but against this backdrop, there's also some good news, and even indeed very good news. The first is that the overwhelmingly high abstention rate that spoke today has a major political offensive. Our country has embarked on a civil strike movement showing that the institutions that claim to organize society with a voting method where a narrow minority has all the powers. That's why I see in this abstention new energy, available energy, as long as we can call it to fight with the ways and words that will be in tune with the possibilities of each and every individual. As long as we call it, this strength can be rolled out and move from abstention to go on the offensive. That's what we're calling for. Secondly, to achieve that, the French people has at the National Assembly a group, France Unbowed, that is coherent, disciplined, that is on the offensive. And it is that group, with all those who wish to join it and who are welcome, in a struggle where we will always seek to rally the maximum of those who wish to join the struggle. It will call the country, when the time comes, to social resistance, and I inform the new power that no inch will be yielded without a fight on the social front. This majority, bloated, made up at the National Assembly, in our view, does not have the legitimacy, if ever there was one, to perpetrate the social coup d'etat that was forecast, that is to say, the destruction of all social public order by abrogating the labor code. That majority does not have the legitimacy to transform the public freedoms in the narrow sense by including in ordinary law the extraordinary provisions of the state of emergency. No, it does not have that legitimacy. It is, on the contrary, outright resistance that is legitimate in that case, and that is why I say that the new power is just that it's the necessity for the country and it's consistent with its interest, and therefore it has to follow the most democratic way in its power, that the French people be consulted by referendum to know whether, yes or no, it wants what this minority seeks to impose upon it. Ladies and gentlemen, my dear friends, the reason why I can state without being too far removed from my acute conscience of the situation of the moment, I'd like to thank those who have allowed the election of so many new France Unbowed MPs. Our movement is barely 1 year old and we're charting a new course. We will seek to move forward by recognizing that it's our useful for others that justifies our existence. I'm delighted to see so many young men and women, some of whom are barely 30 years old and who will become your spokespersons. The young generation is there. the fight is assured in its sustainability. Of course, I feel sad for all those who, after all their efforts, being so close to the goal without reaching it. I will miss them, but our group and our movement with its 500,000 members is a huge force. An election is an election. What counts is the ongoing firmness of beliefs and the forms of organizations that uphold them. All that was achieved. All that was successful. The French people gave no chance to the survivors of the old world and has appointed us to champion the banner of the fight. I call upon all those in the country, in the towns, in the countryside, to the emergence of a new political front, social, cultural, capable of bringing together in all their diversity modes of action and thinking, all those who know and have understood that the moment of history before us is written with a capital H, and that we will choose in the months and years to come in what world we wish to live, in what society we wish to live. That is to say that the hope of better days remains intact, a better world, as long as the strength of abstention becomes the strength of citizens' revolution. I don't know if I've been elected.